He's hiding my McLaren in there. That's what she screamed across the street, no joke, broad daylight. Me just try to open my garage and get on with a Thursday. You ever have one of those mornings where you're not even awake yet, coffee barely in your system, and suddenly you're the villain in somebody else's story? That was me standing on my driveway, work bag in hand, try to remember if I'd paid my insurance. And now, Clara, whole HOA president, professional busybody, has decided I'm running a grand theft auto operation from my own garage. Sirens somewhere in the distance. Curtains fluttering. I could practically hear neighbors dialing each other, ready to film my downfall for the HOA Facebook group. And honestly, I just froze. What are you supposed to say when your neighbor is screaming about stolen luxury cars, and you know the only thing in your garage is a workbench, some security camera gear, and a half-empty bottle of WD-40? You know what I mean? I tried to stay calm, set my bag down, took out my phone, started recording because if this went sideways, I want a record. I'd watched enough How to Survive a Police Encounter videos to know the drill, especially as a black man in a Texas suburb. I kept my voice steady, told her, "Ma'am, there's no vehicle in my garage, look for yourself." Alicia, my wife, appeared behind me, her hand on my arm, just quietly telling me to breathe, count to 4, stay centered. But Clara wasn't having it. She had 911 on speaker, already telling dispatch I'd been hiding her McLaren in my garage for a week, listing off details like she was reading from a script. McLaren 720S, 2017, silver, high value. The whole block was watching now, and honestly, my heart was about to beat right out of my chest. 6 minutes later felt like hours. Officer Mark Lewis pulled up, hand near his belt, eyes moving from me to Clara to my workbench. Clara rushed up, still waving her phone like it was a search warrant, launching into this wild story about how I'd been hiding her car, how it was community property, how, as HOA president, she had a fiduciary duty to monitor for theft. I'm not kidding, she actually said fiduciary duty. Officer Lewis just looked at her, then at me, then asked the obvious, "Ma'am, do you have vehicle registration? Insurance? Proof you even own a McLaren?" And that's when the cracks started to show. Clara hesitated, pivoted. Suddenly, she was talking about community assets and security protocols, trying to spin this like I'd violated some HOA regulation instead of not owning a six-figure sports car. I pulled up my doorbell cam footage it was stamped. Crystal clear showed in my garage opening that morning. Empty except for my work gear. Officer Lewis nodded, took notes, and finally turned to Clara. "Ma'am, I need you to step back from the property line." Did she? Nope, she actually got closer, pointing at my reflective panels, insisting those were McLaren parts. I could feel my jaw clench, but Alicia squeezed my hand and whispered, "Let it play out." Officer Lewis made her replay the 911 call. Her voice on speaker sounded almost rehearsed, each phrase landing a little too perfectly, just enough to set off your something's off meter. In the end, Officer Lewis told her calm but firm that without proof and without any actual car, her report was false. Then he apologized to Mess, said, "If there's any retaliation, you call me direct." That word retaliation hit different. Clara backed away, furious but not finished. My neighbors started texting, some supportive, others suspiciously silent. I closed my garage door like I was sealing up a bunker, adrenaline still buzzing in my veins. But this is the kind of neighborhood where trust is fragile and rumors move faster than the trash truck. I started documenting everything: footage, timestamps, even Alicia's gentle reminders to keep it all business. We'd had to talk about what to do if anyone ever decided we didn't belong. Now it was real. Then Rebecca, accountant from 3 houses down, showed up with a stack of printouts. She'd been watching her own cameras, saw the whole thing. "You need to see this," she said, spreading papers across my kitchen table. HOA security alert sent at 7:42 a.m. My garage opening on camera at 7:45. Clara's 911 call at 7:46. All of it time-stamped too perfect to be coincidence. We dug deeper. Rebecca had admin access to the HOA app. She found logs showing Clara manually flagged a vague security alert, then edited it to suspicious activity 1 minute before calling the cops. Vendor emails showed Clara had lowered the security system's sensitivity, ignoring advice from the company so it would trigger more false alarms. She hadn't even gotten board approval for those changes. It was all planned. Clara had crafted the perfect setup, weaponizing her position and the neighborhood's trust, betting nobody would question her authority. Except now, we had receipts, every technical manipulation, every edited log, every fake alert lined up in a perfect chain. It wasn't paranoia, it was a campaign. Marcus, an off-duty county traffic tech, heard about it and brought his analysis tools over. We ran voice stress tests on Clara's 911 call. The results? Clear as day. Her panic was staged, stress dropping right when she gave the McLaren detail, like she was reading from script. Then another neighbor showed me doorbell cam footage of Clara rehearsing in the street before the incident, practicing gestures and timing, like she was prepping for opening night at the community theater. A pattern started to emerge. Marcus dug into past HOA board records. Clara's presidential term expired last month. No new election. All her actions changing system settings, authorizing alerts totally outside her authority. Rebecca found more. An ER nurse named David, another minority homeowner, came forward with a file. Clara had pulled this same stunt on him last year, accusing him of hiding stolen medical equipment, threatening his job, then burying his complaint when he tried to push back. And then we found the real smoking Guna handwritten watch list in Clara's office with the addresses of every minority family in the neighborhood, dates and made-up violations next to each one. It wasn't about stolen cars or security. It was about who she wanted gone. With mounting evidence, we called an emergency HOA board meeting. Tom, the vice president, reviewed every log, vendor contract, financial irregularity, and the staged security alerts. I laid out the full timeline: alert edits, illegal system changes, Clara's term expiration, and proof she'd weaponized her position for personal vendetta. The board was stunned, even the ones who'd looked the other way before. They suspended her on the spot, pending legal review. But Clara didn't go quietly. She launched a smear campaign through the HOA newsletter, sent before the board meeting even ended, trying to paint me as a threat to community policy. Neighbors got it in their mailboxes the next morning, vague but obvious. Alicia and Rebecca traced the newsletter's metadata per scheduled, time to hit right as her world fell apart. Classic scorched earth. Finally, the police got involved for real. Detective Martinez from the county's fraud unit attended our next community gathering. We did a live demo, showed how the system now flagged even a reflective panel as a vehicle, thanks to Clara's tampering. Marcus presented his technical report. The detective asked Clara, "How did you identify a McLaren 720S from a 59% confidence reading and no actual car?" Clara's lawyer tried to step in, but it was too late. Clara slipped, mentioning enhanced protocols for luxury cars in premium neighborhoods, revealing research beyond our subdivision. This wasn't her first rodeo. Martinez confirmed pending charges in other counties, uncovered insurance fraud, and revealed Clara had orchestrated similar campaigns before, always targeting inconsistent residents. In the end, with evidence stacked high and community sentiment finally unified, Clara was arrested right there in our driveway, handcuffs clicking as the sun set over Pine Valley. The aftermath? Civil rights lawsuits, HOA policy reforms, new leadership elected with term limits, and independent audits. My garage door is just a garage door again. The other families she targeted came forward to become unlikely allies, rebuilt trust over backyard barbecues and late-night coffee. Neighborhood gossip, once a weapon, now spreads stories of justice. I know justice isn't always this clean, but that's how you stop manufactured emergencies. You document everything, build community, and never let silence stand in for truth. Let me know your thoughts down below. Was Clara a one-off? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg for HOA abuse? And if you've ever fought back against community drama, drop your story. Maybe, together, we make sure respect always starts at your own door.